Hey guys, this is JP's LEGO Reviews. Today, I'm going to present to you an intro to LEGO investing. I'm going to show you the introduction on how to invest in LEGO. And this is actually the first video in a whole series of videos coming out on how to invest in LEGO. So, let's break it down. Now, what is LEGO investing? Well, it's purchasing LEGO for it to be resold at a later date for a higher price than the initial purchase price. It's actually pretty self-explanatory, but I'll give you a quick example. You buy a $100 LEGO set, it retires in a month, you wait 3 years and increases to $200. You sell it for $200 and you get $100 profit. Basically, the profit is the essence of LEGO investing. Basically, that's the reason why you're doing it. You made $100 over 3 years from buying a LEGO set and increase in value, then you sold it and you get $100 back. But now, let's move on to what I'll be discussing in the rest of the video series. Now, the first sort of content I'll go through are the basics of LEGO investing. And I'll be answering pretty simple questions like what theme should you invest in LEGO and what price should you get LEGO sets for investing. I'll go through other advice too that's more complex or more specific. So you know how to go about with LEGO investing in a more specific and a more detailed way, and so that you know what to target and, for example, like what to do with your LEGO investment after you buy it. These are important questions too that aren't so simple to answer. But now, let's move on to the climate for LEGO investing. In 2023, what is it like to invest in LEGO? Now, it's actually riskier to invest right now than 5 years ago. And there are a few reasons why. Firstly, there's the varied shelf life. Now, LEGO sets these days have a more varied shelf life. Now, sets on average used to have a pretty consistent shelf life of maybe 2 to 3 years, but now it fluctuates a lot more from, say, 1 year to 5 years. And that makes a big difference for investing in LEGO. Also, the LEGO sets that are out these days are worse value than what they used to be in the past. So, when you're buying a set to invest now, you have to take into consideration the value of the LEGO set too. Because let's say you only get a set for, say, 20% off, but it's a poor valued set, it still wouldn't be a good investment because the price after it retires may stay the same or maybe drop, simply because the value for money in LEGO is just getting worse and worse by the day. Also, there are more themes and sub-themes than ever, so it's actually harder to choose what LEGO sets are actually successful in the aftermarket because there's just so much more to choose from. And finally, the world has a worsening financial situation right now, and because of that, people are buying less and less of commodities and more of necessities because that's what their money would be able to let them do. Because of that, though, commodities such as LEGO, which you don't actually need, will be purchased less, which means that the financial sort of, investing for LEGO will actually be more sort of unpredictable simply because the market will grow smaller and smaller and not larger and larger. But now, let's move on to the basics of LEGO investing. I'll go through my quick basics of LEGO investing and why these basics matter. Now, the first basic is purchasing the LEGO sets for at least 20% off. What this is able to let you do is it basically makes the LEGO investment less risky. Let's say you buy another $100 LEGO set for $100. It doesn't increase in value at all. You haven't made a loss, but you haven't made a profit. Meanwhile, if you buy it on 20% off for $80 and the value still doesn't change, you've actually made a $20 profit instead of a $0 profit. It basically makes you be able to earn more money simply because you've reduced the purchase price of your investment. Also, when it comes to investing in themes, you should invest in themes such as Star Wars, Speed Champions, and Architecture, which are known themes to do well in the secondary market or after a set retires. Now with Star Wars, you do have to be a little bit more picky with what you get, but let's say you get any Clone Wars set, basically, those will usually shoot up in value as it retires. With Speed Champions cars, It's kind of like Hot Wheels in a way, except builder sets obviously, but the cars that are made are actually unique. Like Lego made a Ferrari F8 Tributo in 2020. Now they're not actually going to make another Ferrari F8 Tributo for a while, or maybe even ever, simply because there's so many other cars to make a set for. And with Lego architecture, well, they don't release too many sets during a year. They may release only one or two. And let's say they made a Taj Mahal, they're not just going to repeat a Taj Mahal after only 5 years, simply because there's so many other monuments to make at a smaller scale. And because of these reasons, these are all great themes to start investing in. Now, there are poor themes to invest in too, such as Lego City and Lego Friends, because people don't really care about the content of the sets too much after they retire, and both of these themes are highly likely to, make remakes of certain types of sets. So it's much riskier to invest in those sorts of themes than Star Wars Speed Champions and architecture. Also, you should also have a diversified portfolio of different sets, from preferably different themes. Now, what I mean by this is it's actually pretty simple. Having a diversified portfolio basically means having multiple Lego sets in multiple themes instead of putting all your eggs in one basket. Say you have $100, instead of buying one Lego set which could potentially fail or succeed, basically you're hedging all your bets on one set, you're diversifying it into 5 sets. Let's say you split them all into $20 sets, right? Now, instead of actually having one set that you're hoping will increase in value, you have 5, and more likely than not, all of them will actually increase in value. But let's say 4 don't and 1 does, or actually no, if 4 do and 1 don't, you still have 4 successful investments and 1 that kind of was mediocre, versus 1 that, let's say if it failed, you failed the entire investment instead of just part of the investment. Also, if you buy smaller sets when you start off, it's a less risky place to start with Lego investing too. And it's pretty simple. If you're buying a $20 Speed Champion set, you only dedicated $20 towards a Speed Champion set. Meanwhile, if you get a Creator Expert Ford Mustang, for example, for $160 US, you have put 8 times the money to start Lego investing than the Speed Champion set. So, it's a lot more risky because simply you have more money on the line. Also, this is the last piece of basic advice also, you should try purchasing sets near their retirement. And it's pretty simple why when you think about it. Now, it basically means that you can offload the set sooner than later. Basically, if you buy a set, you have 2 options, the 2 different sets. They both are $20. One retires in a month, one retires in 2 years' time. Let's say both of them take 3 years to get to an acceptable value for you to be able to sell it, right? Now, for one set, you would have only had to wait 3 years to sell it off. The other one, you would have had to wait 5 years. And that makes a big difference in getting your money back sooner to reinvest, but also it could potentially affect your box, which if your box gets destroyed over time, it makes your investment worthless, simply because no one wants to purchase a destroyed Lego box with, a few parts in them. But now, let's move on to what will actually occur later in the series. Now, these are the sort of concepts back there that I'll actually introduce earlier, but these are the concepts I'm going to introduce later. Now, firstly, I'm going to teach you how to think outside the box regarding Lego investing. Now, there's your sort of typical way of Lego investing, but if you think outside the box regarding what sort of Lego sets you should consider investing in, these could potentially make the most money, simply because you're looking into opportunities that others simply aren't looking into. And then 3 years' time, when the set retires, there are a lot less of one set than the other. And because of that, the one with less, just that happens to exist less, will be worth more simply because of supply versus demand. Also, I'm going to also show you what the secret to Lego investing is, and why this secret happens to be so important to Lego investing in my opinion. And actually, in my opinion, if you apply this secret to your Lego investment, it could actually make even a bad investment a profitable decision. Also, I'm going to be going through what to do with your Lego investment, on what you should do with it after you have purchased it. I'll be talking about how to store it, if you should open the box or not, and I'll be also going through what sort of sites you should be using to sell the investment as well. And finally, I have a bonus video right at the end of this series that also is going to be really exciting. So do wait for that one too. And yeah, that's it. That is an introduction, a crammed in version of how to invest in Lego. Now, thank you so much for watching, and also let me know down below what you think of this video and what you think of Lego investing in general. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, then please subscribe. I hope you guys have a prosperous day and keep building and investing.